Hey guys, it's Solidus here, and in this video we're going to be checking out the new Exiles Reach, the new level 1 to 10 experience for new players to the game. With the pre-patch being added to the PTR, I finally got a chance to try out some of the new stuff coming in Shadowlands, and this is one of the first things that I tried. So straight from the get-go, this is great. For new players, this is a really good scenario type thing to take you from level 1 to 10, and it really explains how to play the game. An example, as you can see here, is you are sparring with this grunt, and throughout the fight he gives you advice on things to do, such as make sure that you're always facing your enemy when you're casting your spells, and dependent on which race and class you are playing, the scenario changes slightly and you do different things, so you learn how to use your class's spells, which is really quite cool. So the basic premise is then that you are going after an expedition that has been lost, and as you can see I am playing a undead priest, so I'm going through the horde version of this new starter experience. It was an experience that lasted around 30 to 45 minutes. Players that have been playing for quite a while would be able to blast through this. New players, you're probably going to take a little bit longer, but it should take around 45 minutes, and by the end of it, the last quest, it will make you level 10 and take you back to your faction's capital. So you are going after this expedition that's been lost. You land on this island which has murlocs, it has quillboar and ogres, and essentially you are trying to find them, and as you progress through you start finding survivors. You have to kill mobs and loot the food from them, and then the game teaches you how to cook the food to turn it into food to feed the people. The scenario that you can see here, the quest that I'm on here, she's actually explaining to me that I need to refresh Shadow Word Pain just before it expires, so I do more damage rather than just spamming my dots, which new players could tend to do. So it was really good, it was really fun, and the whole thing, like I said, took around 30 to 45 minutes. It also very cleverly recognises what class you are playing as well, and it teaches you spells that are specific to your class. As you will see in a minute, because I am a priest, it teaches me about the resurrection spell, and one of the quests is to go and use resurrection on 3 friendly players and bring them back to life. It goes through some vehicle mechanics, so it gets you used to the vehicle UI, and you can see just how this game really plays. So it is a really good way to introduce new players to World of Warcraft. Even if you are somebody that has been playing for many years like myself, I'd still recommend giving this a go, because it is quite fun, and I certainly enjoyed this, leveling 1 to 10 this way rather than starting in what are quite frankly quite dated starting experiences now, and this certainly felt quicker as well in terms of leveling. Throughout the island as well, there are numerous things that you can do that doesn't follow the main quest. There are treasures that you can find, and you can see the chest icon on the map in the top right corner now, so it educates people on that. There are rares dotted around as well, so you can go and loot rares for better gear. Quite a number of bags dropped from mobs on this scenario, so I had quite a large backspace, certainly a lot more than I remember when I first started playing WoW. It has you running through dungeons and fighting spiders and caves and rescuing people. It tells you around how you can mount druids, for instance, when they're in travel form. So they've really put a lot of thought and effort into this, and I thought it was a really good way of educating people on how to play WoW. There wasn't really much wrong that I could find with it. The main thing for me is one of the side quests is a is a quest where you have to go and kill a bear, and it is a suggested group quest where it suggests that you do this quest with 5 players, which indicates to me that it should be a fairly tough fight. However, as a priest, I was fairly easily able to solo that, so I do think they might need to look at it to make things a little bit more challenging. And as you keep progressing through and you rescue more people and you're taking down the spiders and you're killing all these harpies, eventually you will come to the part of the scenario where you need to try and stop the ogres from using all of the life force that they're collecting, which is again related to Shadowlands, so there is a bit of a tie-in. And what they are trying to do is they're trying to reanimate this dragon and bring this dragon back to life. And once you've gone through all this and you've killed a few ogres and you've collected items that they drop after you've killed them, it then asks you to queue up for a scenario. And now the scenario was quite clever in my opinion. What it did was it put 3 of us into a group, and then it used 2 NPCs to play the role of tank and healer. Now this may have just been because there was no tank or healer in the group, and it might change, I don't know. But the tank and healer roles was taken by the NPCs. Now unfortunately it only worked for the first 3 mobs in the dungeon. They bugged out after that and they actually just decided to say see you later, and they disappeared. But the dungeon was fairly easier, and there was myself, Shadow Priest, I'm sure there was a rogue, and there was a warrior, and we managed to progress through the dungeon really quite easily. And even the last 2 bosses and the dragon, me and the rogue managed to take it down by ourselves because the warrior AFK'd. So it wasn't too difficult, especially for people that have been playing this game for quite a while. At the end, you are then you will end up with a full set of expedition gear, which I will show you at the end of this video. And you then end up in my case it was Ogrimmar, and you were ready to start your 10 to 50 questing experience through whatever expansion you pick, which is one of the new features in Shadowlands, is you can level from 10 to 50 in any of the expansions throughout. So Wrath of the Lich King, you'll go from level 10 to level 50 by the end of it, and then you start in Shadowlands from 50 to 60. So overall, I think this is really cool. They might just need to look at a few of the numbers on a quest or 2, but overall this was a really good experience, and like I said, even if you are an experienced WoW player, I'd strongly recommend you check it out. So enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
The Horde will be victorious.
What would you ask of death? Remember, patience.
What brings you here? Be careful.
Dawnwalkers and their dragon lie dead at our feet, and the skies shine clear.